With this video, I just wanted to take a quick moment to speak on Michael Eric Dyson because this brother just cannot stop tap dancing for the Democratic Party. Now, I've been done with this brother for quite some time now, ever since his 2019 interview on The Breakfast Club, where he kept sneak dissing and going in on Malcolm X. I've been cool on him ever since. And from that point forward, it's become real obvious to me how much of a Democratic puppet he actually is. I've made videos about him in the past, like the one that I made back in March of 2020, titled Michael Eric Dyson Sold Out Black America, years ago. And in that video, I played a clip where he was going in on Black America, shaming us for having the audacity to say, hey, you can't conflate LGBTQ history with Black history. It's not the same thing. And to be even more specific, you cannot adopt the civil rights movement and attempt to graft the LGBTQ struggle into it as if that's what Martin Luther King was fighting for. Now, do you know what Michael Eric Dyson's response was to that? His response was, well, if that's the position that Black Americans are going to take, then you all need to bow down and pay homage to Gandhi because Martin Luther King took his whole civil rights idea from him. But don't believe me, I'll let Michael Eric Dyson tell you this himself.
I understand the tensions on both sides. You know, black folks say, can we have something? Can we get something that's ours? Ain't nobody appropriating all the time. They took jazz. Can we keep the civil rights thing? Everybody ain't black. Now, here's the thing that I think a lot of black people miss, is that it's real flattery for people to try to compare themselves to black people. You know, hey, we want to be black. We're down like them. It's an insult to a lot of black people like, hey, it ain't the same thing though, dog. So slow down with that. What's interesting to me, though, is that many African-American people forget that the civil rights movement itself was borrowed, right? Then pay some royalties to Mahatma Gandhi, because that's where King got it. So I'm sure the Indian people go like, you ripping us off, man. Like that King stuff was sampled. Like you like ripping us off. Like we pay it to sing, not to bling.
Okay, now here's where the Democratic tap dancing starts coming in. Adopting or borrowing a strategy and applying it to your particular circumstance is completely different from intentionally conflating the history of two different groups in an attempt to graft yourself into the history of said group so that you can benefit from their struggle. Okay? Now I'll leave it at that and let's get back into the foolishness.
All right, so, excuse me, Sing. And I ain't mad. I mean, the point is that it's always promiscuous. You're borrowing from a culture of opposition. Gandhi, South Africa, fighting. Gandhi, turning a nation around. King being inspired by what one biographer calls that little brown saint. Going to meet with Nehru in India. And then borrowing that in application to African-American culture. It's already borrowed. It ain't original. Now, what's original is what King did with it, right? Because King borrowed a whole bunch of stuff and a bunch of words. I don't want to get into that.
This man is throwing your whole history and its main icon under the bus in defense of the LGBTQ community. But it doesn't stop there, because one of the things Dyson has been big on over the past couple of years is attempting to drive a wedge between black men and black women, to which he primarily comes down on black men in order to shame them to get with the Democratic program. Now, since Biden announced that he was looking to place a black woman as his next Supreme Court judge, for the most part, at least as of right now, because we all know how quickly things can change, but at least as of now, Black Americans are rejecting Biden's proposal because they understand it as being symbolic nonsense. So what does Dyson do? He turns the conversation into y'all just mad because the Supreme Court judges that Biden is looking to appoint are married to white men. And then he proceeds to turn the conversation into some colorist nonsense about demonizing darkness and black men are trash and blah, blah, blah. What you're getting ready to listen to is really an insult to the intelligence of all black Americans who are rejecting Biden's proposal on the basis of it being symbolic trash.
And I know some people got a problem with some of these women married to white men. Yeah, I'm gonna go there this morning. Oh my God. Look, I don't know their situation, but this is what I do know. Some of them, a lot of them are dark-skinned black women, and some Negroes got a problem seeing the beauty in dark-skinned black women. Don't you be mad because a white boy came along and saw what you threw away. I ain't saying that's everybody. I ain't saying that's everything. I'm not saying it's universal. But before you rag on them, understand the story. Some of these darker skinned black women don't get no love. Could be at a place like Harvard, Princeton, and Yale, and the brothers dating all white women. Now that's their choice if they want to do that, but look at the demonization of darkness. Look at the chocolate charm that's being overlooked. Look at it, and we got everything in the book: vanilla vitality, caramel cuteness, chocolate charm, mocha magic. We got it all, bruh. And yet we overlook that, right? Because we think that the white man's water is wetter. And skin and flesh is sweeter and sexier. So don't be mad at black women who refusing to be by themselves if they wanted to be a partner, accepted the love and devotion of a white man who saw their value beyond their skin in a way that certain black men could, or saw the beauty and value in their skin, not transcending their darkness, inhabiting it in delicious fashion. But that's another story. So the thing is,
like I said, Dyson's been playing on this gender war between black men and black women for quite some time now. And I'll play this one last clip for you, and then we're going to get out of here and shut this thing down. Now, here's when Dyson was responding to Snoop Dogg calling Gayle King a funky doghead, you know what. And of course, Dyson, being the great Democratic tap dancer that he is, he disingenuously made it a point to twist what Snoop Dogg said as if Snoop was talking about all black women when he was clearly just talking about Gayle King. And oh yeah, black men are trash and blah, blah, blah.
If you want to honor Kobe Bryant, love black women. Black women have stood up for black men far more than black men have stood up for black women. From Ida B. Wells, who led the anti-lynching campaign, down to Susan Taylor, who's dealing with mentoring young black people, especially black boys in this society. Gayle King and Oprah Winfrey have done far more good than harm. Be critical, yes. Hold to account, yes. But this kind of behavior is antithetical to the very love ethic that runs through our race and that black women have been willing to die for, and to establish their bona fides by defending black men far more than we had defended us. Shame on us. We got to do better.
You know, now that I think about it, I actually have one more clip for you. And this is important for me to play because this really goes to highlight what I stated in my last video. These people are not on the side of black America. They will sell us short just so that they can have a high position within this system. Now, in this last clip that I'm going to play for you, look at how much praise Michael Eric Dyson heaps on Joe Biden, as if he did not spend the last 40 years of his career authoring multiple anti-black racist crime bills, as if he wasn't mentored by well-known anti-black racists like Strom Thurmond and former Ku Klux Klan exalted Cyclops Robert Byrd. And even worse, all of that praise just so Biden can turn around and do absolutely nothing for the people that he swore up and down to have the backs of.
Everything that happened in the room, or at least what you found to be the most striking moment in that discussion with Joe Biden?
Well, besides getting a chance to shine John Meacham's shoes, which is always a distinguished pleasure, it was the possibility of engaging one of the most remarkable, one of the most humble, one of the most curious political officials that I've ever encountered, and especially presidents. Here was a man of profound humility, willing to engage people, to absorb their sagacity, their wisdom, their insight, their analytical acuity, their specific fields of endeavor, but also willing to engage in a free-roaming conversation across the horizon of American politics and American intellectual history. Imagine a graduate seminar where a very sharp student is engaging in a serious analysis of a particular subject and then bringing to bear a broad variety of streams of knowledge and awareness. That's what it was. After every presentation of each of the historians and analysts and commentators and critics gathered there, President Biden, to my utter delight and surprise, would intervene after every presentation and give an extemporaneous, improvised analysis of the particular subject, show his knowledge of that particular subject, ask penetrating questions, and evince a remarkable comprehension of the interconnection between that particular field and what he was now facing. It was a rather remarkable evening.
So how much legislation came out of all that for Black America? I'll wait. From the fake Black leaders and intellectuals like Michael Eric Dyson to the bogus Black representation of Jim Clyburn, all these people care about are themselves. And it is high time that we raise up a new class of intellectuals and political representation that actually speaks for the grassroots. And with all that being said, that does it for today's video. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button as well as the bell notification next to the subscribe button so you can be notified whenever I release a new video. All social media links will be pinned in the comment section below. Please make sure you text tdhiphop to number 33222. That's tdhiphop to number 33222. That way you'll get a direct text notification whenever I release a new video, but it also serves as a protection plan for myself in case YouTube ever gives this channel the axe. I'll be able to send you a direct link to where you can find me next. And last but not least, for those of you who have a love and appreciation for the work that I put in on this channel, the number one way you can show your support is through Patreon. For only $3 a month, that will help put me in position to take TD Hip Hop Media off of YouTube. Remember, the goal is not to grow big on YouTube, but to grow independent of YouTube. And for those who have issues with joining Patreon, you could also hit the join button that's next to the subscribe button, and that way you can become an official channel member for as little as $3 a month as well. And lastly, if you have not already, please make sure you join the emailing list. There is no way that I can go independent of YouTube if I cannot take the audience with me. And the link to that will be pinned in the comment section as well. Thank you for your time, and until the next video, peace.